Staying in the States now, it's been revealed by some of the biggest Biden administration insiders. We're talking about his aides, his donors. They've spilled the tea to the Wall Street Journal, saying that, in fact, Biden's lack of mental acuity, they've been covering it up since day one. Now, this was something that was blown wide open by James O'Keefe, who you'll remember is quite famous for these undercover videos where they get someone of significance who usually thinks that they're on a romantic date and plug them for info. Here is Henry Appel, a National Security Council advisor inside the White House, spilling the tea regarding Biden's very lacking mental acuity throughout his tenure as president to what he thought was a hot date.
Well, here's the tea. Joe Biden is like dead. He can't just say something. He's really progressed in his old age. Everybody recognized. I can't believe it wasn't a bigger scandal. He'll be dead in a year.
He went on to tell stories of him himself noticing Biden's obvious decline throughout the years he's been president.
My boss was on an international trip with him, in Europe or something. The phone rang in the office, and I was like, "Well, Mr. President, Henry." He was like, "He's safe there." He's like, "No, he's traveling with you. He's on the same trip that you are."
And this was clearly an ongoing problem.
A couple weeks ago, I was the last one in the office, and he called from my boss. And so I picked the phone and said, "Hello, Mr. President, Henry on Jake's phone. He's left for the day, but I can try to get him on the line for you." And he asked me some questions, and I was like, "I don't know, let me get the track him down, and I'll call his Secret Service detail." And it's I'll try his unclassified phone. Then 10 seconds later, same. I picked it up again. I was like, "Hi again, it's Henry." He was like, "Is Jake there?" I was like, "No, you called the same office."
Wall Street Journal that, in fact, as early as spring 2021, they were already readjusting his schedule very regularly to account for his, quote, "good days and bad days," end quote. Gabby, it doesn't come as a surprise to anyone who is paying any attention over the last few years that this was always the case.
Absolutely. And it's one of the biggest political scandals that you've got the President of the United States that hasn't been mentally well for 3 years, and there's just been this protection racket around him. And the media's been a big protection racket. They've been complicit in it, apart from outlets like Sky News that have been calling it out. So if you've been watching us, you would have seen the decline in real time, which has been quite scary. But some of the details, look, it's not fresh news that, hey, he's got cognitive decline, but some of the details in this is absolutely insane, that they do have to accommodate for his good days, his bad days. Some days he'd have to finish at 4 p.m. He just gets too tired. Well, we've seen that recently when he's fallen asleep on the world stage. But he's just taken part in an interview where he was asked about his presidency, and in true Joe Biden style, he says he has no regrets.
Any other regrets that you have? Anything you wish you would have done differently?
Well, I guess if I thought a lot about it, it'd be something I would have specifically done, but not generically.
But we have been watching this in real time for years, and it has been so embarrassing. Kamala Harris has been complicit in this. I'd like to know who else was around Joe Biden and why they were essentially lying to the American people this whole time. Jill Biden, what have you been doing this entire time? Lying to the American people. But this is back Joe Biden in 2020. Take a look.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the thing. Here he is in 2021.
If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
And here he is in 2022.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put
The evidence has been there from the start. It's been so embarrassing for America. Who on earth was supporting him right up until June? You know?
Well, that's the thing. I can actually, believe it or not, understand how you would need to get Biden as a candidate because you've stuffed up your entire pre-selection process and you've just got these crazy AOC Green New Deal types on the left who are unelectable, and then you've got the old sort of dinosaur establishment and you haven't got anyone in the middle. So they're stuck with Joe Biden as the candidate because he's the only one that can beat Trump. Then it's day one in the White House and you realise, holy crap, this guy really does have dementia. What do we do? I can actually understand and think, all right, great, we're just going to have to manage this. What is absolutely unforgivable is that he was allowed to run again, that he was allowed to say that he was going to go for the presidency again.
Sure, you've known since the beginning of his
didn't
term.
immediately say, absolutely no way. That is the absolutely unforgivable thing that Democrat strategist is just far too strong a word for whoever's in charge there, did. And again, it's just so unforgivable. And the fact that they stuffed it up so much, lived in denial, thought they could fake it, pull the wool over the American people's eyes. Then they're stuck with Kamala, who is the only candidate probably as bad as Joe Biden. And so they just dealt themselves. I mean, how you deal yourself out of government. You've got everything. You've got all the cards in your hands. Aces, aces, aces.
Failed on every front.
And you manage to just throw it all away. It is disgraceful. And anyone who knows or cares anything about politics should just be running this mob out of town.
Throw it all away.